Dear friend, when it comes to composting, many of us feel both excited and a little nervous, especially at the beginning. The truth is, everyone makes mistakes, not only in gardening, but in every area of life. And you know what? Every stumble, every batch of compost that doesn't break down properly, every unpleasant smell is actually an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to understand nature more deeply and to understand ourselves. I'd like to invite you to look at these mistakes not as failures, but as valuable lessons that bring us closer to a greener, more sustainable, and more vibrant garden. First, adding too much fresh grass to your compost pile can quickly cause problems. You may notice a strong smell, a soggy texture, and a slow decomposition process that just won't move forward. I experienced this myself when I first started composting in my backyard. I thought, the more fresh grass, the better. But it turned out to be far more complicated. Fresh grass contains a lot of moisture and nitrogen. Without balancing it with dry materials like dry leaves, straw, or shredded paper, the pile becomes too wet and lacks oxygen. This leads to bad odors and poor activity from beneficial aerobic microbes. My advice: always mix fresh grass with dry materials in the right ratio, about 1 part fresh grass to at least 2 parts dry material. Have you ever run into this issue? If so, try adjusting the balance, and you'll notice your compost becoming lighter, smelling earthy, and breaking down much faster. Second, there's a very common habit many home composters have: not chopping up organic waste. Imagine tossing in large vegetable scraps, thick fruit peels, or even whole corn cobs. Microorganisms then have to slowly work through each layer, which takes a long time. This not only slows the process, but also results in uneven compost. Some parts still intact, others breaking down too quickly. I once heard a friend say that after 3 months, his compost still smelled bad, and the waste hadn't fully decomposed, simply because he didn't bother cutting it up. In reality, spending just a few extra minutes chopping scraps makes a huge difference. The compost becomes crumbly, smells pleasant, and requires much less turning. Scientists also point out that increasing surface area allows microbes to work faster and more efficiently. So if you want a smoother composting process, this is a habit worth changing. Third, letting your compost become too dry is another mistake beginners often make. You can tell your pile lacks moisture if the materials feel light, pale in color, and crumble like dry soil when squeezed. When that happens, decomposition nearly stops, because microorganisms, just like us, can't function without water. The result is slow breakdown, unpleasant odors, and a lot of wasted effort. The solution is simple: water the pile regularly and check moisture by squeezing a handful of compost. If it feels like a wrung-out sponge, you're right on track. A longtime gardener once told me that during hot weather, he always covers his compost pile with straw or dry leaves to retain moisture. This not only saves water, but also helps microbes stay active. Have you experienced this before? A little attention and care can quickly bring your compost back to life. Fourth, let's talk about glossy paper and plastic bags, materials that may seem harmless but are silent enemies of the soil and our health. When plastic or glossy paper ends up in compost, it doesn't decompose. Instead, it accumulates, contaminates the soil, lowers compost quality, and can even seep into groundwater. Many studies show that microplastics from plastic bags can enter the food chain and affect human health over time. So how do we avoid this? Carefully inspect organic waste before adding it to your pile. Remove anything shiny, stretchy, or impossible to tear by hand. These are usually signs of plastic or coated paper. From my years of composting, I've learned that a little daily caution goes a long way in protecting both the environment and our family's health. Fifth, turning the compost too often is another common misconception. Have you ever thought that the more you turn the pile, the better it will be? In reality, overturning can do more harm than good. Constant disturbance prevents microorganisms from settling into a stable environment, interrupting the natural decomposition process. A friend once told me he turned his compost every single day, and the pile never fully matured. Sometimes it even started to smell. Simple research suggests that turning every 2 to 3 weeks is ideal. This adds oxygen while still allowing microbes to work efficiently. Be patient, observe your compost, and resist the urge to turn it too often. Looking back, it's clear that everyone makes mistakes when starting out with composting. But it's through those mistakes that we learn to adjust, be patient, and grow. Composting is not just a method of managing organic waste. It's a way to reconnect with nature, with ourselves, and with the community around us. I truly believe that every experience and every story you share can inspire others on this journey. Don't hesitate to ask questions, share your progress, and explore more about composting together. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the Compost channel so we can continue this journey of turning waste into compost and living greener every day. See you in the next video.